Thank you for joining us on the news. Tonight, we begin with the former Auditor General Daniel Domelevo, who has expressed concern over the prevalent conflict of interest among public office holders in Ghana. He attributes the frequent occurrence of these interests to the delayed passage of the Conduct of Public Office Holders Bill. The former Auditor General's comments follow a report by the Special Prosecutor, which found no evidence of corruption against former President John Mahama in the Airbus scandal.
Special Prosecutor Kisia Jabing identified former President John Mahama as government official 1 in the Airbus scandal. The UK's Serious Fraud Office imposed a financial sanction of €3.9 billion on Airbus for bribery in the sale of aircraft to 13 countries, including Ghana. However, during a press conference, the special prosecutor stated that no evidence was found to suggest Mr. Mahama engaged in corruption, even though the deal was facilitated by his brother. While commending the special prosecutor for what he describes as thorough work, Daniel Domelevo lamented the ongoing issue of conflict of interest in Ghana.
The bar in Ghana is extremely low. People don't see anything wrong being public officers appointing their brothers, their cousins, their wives, their in-laws, etc. to public positions and giving government contracts to them. But to me, that is a no. I remember Honorable Gloria Akufu sent me a bill which is entitled Conduct of Public Office Holders. In that bill, there are issues to do with conflict of interest, asset declaration, accepting of gift, bribe, all those issues have been addressed in that bill. Up to today, that bill is lying, I don't know, on the floor or on the carpet or in the drawer or on the shelves of the office of the president.
Domelevo called for the swift passage of the law, criticizing the lack of commitment from political class who are often involved in such conflicts.
There are bills or laws that, if they had come out, would have helped us address some of these issues better. Like I talked about the Conduct of Public Officers Bill 2018, which is still lying in the presidency. We may have to expedite action and pass it into law and start practicing it so that people will know that these type of things are not good.
Boko Central MP explained why Airbus faced financial sanctions while no actions were taken against Ghanaian authorities.
It is not what the UK courts say or what the US courts say.
It
is what our laws say about what act constitutes corruption. Is that okay? And when we should hang you, you know. And so if our laws don't say we should hang you, and if our laws don't say that that is corruption, I think that the fact that Airbus and the people there have gone to sign some deferred prosecution agreements in which they admit that they had a practice in which they corrupted officials in order to get business. Yeah, but doesn't mean that our specific officials were actually corrupt.
Both Domelevo and Ayariga urged civil society organizations to intensify their advocacy for the passage of the Conduct of Public Office Holders Bill.
Outcome of the work should lead us to, begin to think about specific concrete legislation. As I said, that bill has been there for a long time. I remember spotting the bill and discussing the bill in my days in civil society. But interest.
Your days in civil society?
Yeah, interest.
That's been a long time ago.
Yeah, interest. People just have interest. And once people in power see that a legislation doesn't serve their interest, they will scuttle it. So civil society has to push as hard as possible.
Meanwhile, former MP for Goma West, who served as Deputy Minister in the Health and Communications Ministries, stated that laws alone cannot combat corruption. He challenged politicians to uphold ethical standards in their public service.
Where law may fall short of truth. But you see, in the fight against corruption, if we use law alone, we would never get there. Because some of these things are done mostly behind closed doors. And so if even the youth who are clamoring to go into politics under the pretext of going to serve have realized that it's the quickest way of being rich and being influential. If they use the biggest and the sharpest microscope to look into my activities as a government official, they will not get me having taken one city. So when I'm speaking about corruption, I'm very passionate about it.
President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, pointed out the apparent double standards of candidate Mahama, who initially denied being government official one, but now accepts the vindication by the special prosecutor's report.
That we also need to let the NDP and John Mahama know that initially he said he was not the one. I mean, basically they were angry when they were being referred to as government official one. Now, government official one is descriptive and he is the one. And then and I think that you accept that in good faith as well. I mean, when you make this argument, people say, and so what? Because at the end of the day, he was also acquitted anyway. Well, the fact of the matter is that initially when it happened, I can understand, given all the negativity around the transaction, I mean, it's probably annoying to be referred to as government official as we did that at some point.
It's clear Ghana's fight against corruption requires both strong legal framework and leaders who have personal integrity, who will put the public interest above personal gain. For Channel One News, I am Caleb Kuda.